So I'm Alex Borbola. I'm here today with Alexis Castellanos, author of Guava and Grudges, which is a YA rom-com following Anna Maria, an aspiring pastry chef who creates a recipe for disaster when she goes behind her family's back and teams up with Miguel, a boy with ties to a rival Cuban bakery, to win a scholarship for culinary school. So, hello, Alexis.
Hi, Alex, and everyone watching.
So we'll start off easy, and I'll just ask, what's your inspiration behind this story? What made you want to write it?
The inspiration for this story is actually really closely tied to my debut graphic novel, Isla Island. I had to draw Marisol, the main character, sad so many times. I needed a pick-me-up after working on that book. I wanted something that honestly wasn't like too deep. I wanted something fluffier, something happier, something that was just like teenage joy and teenage troubles in like a small town. And Guava and Grudges, it was exactly the book I needed to help me heal from Isla Island.
Anna Maria specifically likes to create Cuban fusion food. So I'd love for you to speak to how that kind of fusion aspect plays into Anna Maria's identity and kind of her story as the book goes along.
Particularly with Cuban food and being a Cuban American, there's a lot about when your family came to the United States, what generation of exile you are really influences your food and your culture. And Amaria's aware or kind of dealing with the idea of, is that really true? Can it be authentic if it looks slightly different? I mean, you go to Miami and the Cuban sandwich doesn't have salami, and you go to Tampa and it does have salami. And the Cuban sandwich in Cuba doesn't really exist in the way that exists in the United States. But culture and those things are constantly evolving, and Ana Maria playing with that and um, trying to discover what it means for her to be Cuban American and how she relates to her culture. She explores that through her fusion food.
As Anna Maria goes and kind of creates her own food, she also forges her own path throughout the story. And part of that is falling in love with Miguel, who's from this rival Cuban family. So I'm curious, what was your favorite scene to write with the two of them? I have my own, but I'd love to hear what you think.
My favorite scene is the second scene with them when he shows up at the bakery in the middle of the night and she's like, "What are you doing here? You can't be here." And even though she's like really trying to set a boundary and be like, "We can't be friends. Our families are enemies. You can't be here." Like they just played off each other so well in a way that really surprised me and delighted me and kind of set the tone for the rest of the book.
That scene is incredible. It's so much fun. Like you said, there's something for everybody. That's the point. Thank you so much, Alexis.